Hey guys, it's me, Matcha. No, please, stop.
I said stop! I'm sorry!
Okay. So today, we're gonna be redesigning one of my more underdeveloped characters, Milk. Why the redesign, I hear you ask? Well, one, he's really ugly, and two, one of my friends said I should draw him. So, let's get into it. So the reason I wanted to redesign him is because I felt the design was kind of bad, and I know I could draw him better considering it's almost been a year. So the first thing I did was scour Pinterest for poses because I've been working on making more dynamic poses for my characters, and I found this diva. I really liked this character's pose and also like their style, so I was just like, you know what, let me just take some inspiration from that. I think I did a really good job referencing this picture because usually with posing I'm really bad at taking other people's ideas and transferring them into my own personal style, but I think it turned out really good. With this particular drawing, I didn't really do a sketch. I kind of sketched in quotations. I sketched it out and then I just erased and refined it to make it into line art. One thing I did have like a really big problem with is like the head to body ratio. I think I had a good size at first, and every time I stepped back, it either looked too big or too small, and it was really frustrating actually, but I ended up finding a good size. And I started on the clothes, which finding out how clothes wrap around like body parts, especially when you've never drawn bell bottoms before, is quite frustrating, I will say. But I made it work. I ended up changing the line art from purple to pink because pink is like one of like the main colors I use when I'm trying to do like more of a vibrant art style, which I was really trying to do. I really want to incorporate more colors into my art style, but I do think that was not the greatest choice when Milk's color palette is purple and yellow. I feel like doing the bright purple outline would have made more sense. After I got done with the main line art, I kind of just started adding details because I felt the clothing looked a bit blank, and I feel like the flames on the bell bottoms really made it less bare. But then I started just doing flat colors. I did it all in one layer, which isn't really something I usually do, but I think it turned out alright. So then I started rendering, which I didn't render how I normally render. I feel like I just didn't do anything that I usually do, which I think is a good thing because I got the drawing done quicker and I'm happier with it than I usually am with most of my drawings. But I kind of layered like different colors because usually I would just like render like the face and then render like the skin and the arms, but I just like whatever like solid color it was, I would render all of it at once. And then also I rendered the arms differently than how I usually would, and I think that it made the arms look more 3D and not flat. And then when I rendered the shirt, I really like how I rendered the shirt because the wrinkles look amazing. It's subtle, so I feel like some people wouldn't like that because, you know, wrinkles usually have more shadow to them, especially with the lighting that I'm doing. But I think it worked for what I was going for. So then I started doing lighting, which I don't really have a particular idea in mind for lighting. I just knew I wanted to do bright green because the liner was pink and those are complementary colors, I think. And then I added bounce light with bright blue, but then I realized that bounce light is supposed to be like a reflection, so the bounce light should have been green, but whatever. And then I attempted to do a background because I was like, you know what? I usually don't do backgrounds. Let me try and do a little something, which it's very simplistic, very, very, very simplistic. But I do like how it turned out overall. One of my most favorite drawings, considering that it only took 2 hours. But here's the before. And here's the after. The audio for this video was kind of bad, but it should get better in better videos, so just bear with me. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Remember to like, subscribe if you want. I don't really care. And keep on drawing.